Hello everyone, and welcome. My name's Lainie. This is Big Girls Really Do Cry, and this is photos of the week. Not. So it photos funny and odd. Um, I still haven't gone out because I still haven't got a wheelchair, but also now because I've got what's called category 2 skin tissue issues. Tissue issues? Yeah, I said that word. Anyway, so yeah, so I hopefully that will heal before my wheels come, before I go mad, because something's gonna happen, isn't it? So I was gonna do views and insects and other creatures for this one, but I thought, I'll do the funny and the odd. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Hopefully you will enjoy it. Here we go. So we'll start with this one. It's blatantly obvious to me that you can see it, but it is a face in the sky. I can see an eyes, I can see a nose, I can see like the roundness of the head. It kind of looks a bit like a female Thomas the Tank Engine. Maybe I might be pushing it, but yeah. I can see like the line for the mouth. I'm sure you can all see it, and it's not just me. But yeah, I am one of those weirdos that see faces and things. Right, moving on to these. These are starlings, so that's Mum starling and the babies, and I just love how angry looking the baby starlings, or is it hangry looking, because they're really hungry, so they just look really angry, especially the lower down one. It just looks like, give me the food now, or you will pay, you know what I mean? It's just, it just looks really angry about it, and it makes me laugh. So if we move on to this one, which basically shows them when she has got a worm and the mouth immediately opens. The one behind as well also has its mouth wide open waiting for food, and it's like, who does she choose? Does she have like a favourite or something? It's just like, eeny meeny miny mo, you can have it this time, you know. I don't really know how it works, but yeah, gobs wide open, and they make a right racket as well, waiting, and they just follow her everywhere, bless her. And then when you've got like 3 or 4 or 5 of them, can you imagine? And then on this one it shows where she has actually fed one, and how far does her beak go down its mouth? It surprised me. Oh, is that a male? I can't really tell. The way you can tell, because this looks at a small screen, but they've got either blue or pink near the base of their beak, where it meets their face, I guess. And then this one, it kind of looks like they were all screaming for the food, and either he or she sort of like took a sort of step back, as if they, you know, Christ. But yeah, starlings are really noisy at this age, although I suppose they are all the ages. Okay, so this is literally a glove on a fence. Now, I was trying to take photographs. I saw something in the distance on the fence, couldn't work out what it was. Thought, right, well, I'll zoom in, take a photograph, and then at least I'll know. Turns out it was a glove on a fence, which, yeah. It kind of looks like the glove's giving us the finger a little bit, but yeah, rude. I don't know if you can see it to the left side there, but there's a spuggy, or a house sparrow. But it was just like one of the first times I took anything in movement, and I think I put it in there because it looked, you know, just as it was sort of going around by the wheelie bin, it looked so perfect in the body part, but the wings were blurred. And this is where he landed. He landed on the side of the fence, and he was picking out spiders and all sorts out of the corners, and I suppose perfect for them, but I've never seen that done before. I just didn't expect it, you know what I mean? I guess you just think, oh, they eat bird seed, but like, not their real diet. That's just what the public give them. um, and then moving on to this one, which is the female house sparrow. She was kind of hiding out in they clearly had babies inside this wall, and I just managed to catch her coming out, and I just thought it was a really sweet picture, but the way she was looking at me was kind of suggesting that she was not happy that I took a picture. So what are you doing? What are you hanging around where my babies are, kind of thing. But yeah, and this next one as well is again, and I don't know if you can see it, it just the edge of its eyes above the gutter there. Again, it's not the same. Well, I'm assuming it's not the same one because it was taken on different days. But yeah, it's another house sparrow, female house sparrow, and I just thought it looked quite cute. Now I know I'm 46-year-old, but when it got a little bit wet and then I could see the lines, I had to like sort of do a wiggly pattern and then take a photograph of it. I know I'm sad, but I just did. And it's just like weird to have like that central, because obviously I've got like the back wheel that's in the centre, which is the turning wheel, and just having that going all the way through was a bit strange. And this is a wren, and because its eyes were closed, it just looks like it's like, you know, like you kind of think, oh, I've had enough, shut up, like, and I feel that's what it's doing about me at this present moment, just kind of thinking, oh, just shut up, woman, like, you've done it off, gone on, which is true, I do, but, yeah, even though it had just been singing its head off just before when I'd caught this picture, but I just thought it was sweet catching it with its eyes shut like that. This is a dunnock who had its foot on a stick that was in the water and one on the stone, and it kind of just like started to divide apart a little bit, and I mean, he flew off of it in the end, but yeah, it was kind of like, you're going to do the splits, mate, I think you need to move. But he did, he flew off, so he was fine. This is a great tit. He literally came out, you can see him at the top left hand corner of the picture. He literally shot out of his home, his nest there, and it looks like a kind of little rocket tit. I don't know if that's the right way of putting it, but yeah, it was amazing like to see, and I didn't realise like I'd caught it on the picture when I took it because I was taking burst shots, but yeah, it's like a little rocket tit. There you go. And then this is a blue tit, but its mate, or you know, partner, wife, girlfriend, whatever they want to call them, was above it on the branch, and it was like looking up, like mouthing, and it just looked like it was going, Barbara, put me tea in or something. You know what I mean? I don't know why his female blue tit would be called Barbara either, but that was just the first thing that came in my head. But yeah, that's kind of what it looked like. It was just like it was shouting up at its partner or its wife or whatever. And then this next one, we were talking in my last video. Was it my last video? Yeah, in the birds one that I did last week about the blue tit looking like a tennis ball. And this was where this initially come from, because I was always missing the blue tits because they would bend over at the time I took the pictures, if say like arse to you, but it just so looks like a tennis ball with legs. And if you thought the last one was in my last video, then this one definitely does look like one. Anyway, speaking of tits, there's a whole different kind of tit. It's not really a tit, it's a flower, but it just looked like one, and I took a picture of it. Kind of side boobish, innit? Like with a very pink knobbly nipple and peeling skin. Yeah, maybe, but it was just the angle. It was just, yeah. I'm sticking with it. Whatever you say, I'm sticking with it. That's what it looks like. And it it was a bit strange when I seen it, and I don't actually know what flower or plant it is. Hopefully someone who watches this will, and they'll be able to enlighten us. Obviously I know it doesn't stay like that, but it was just very odd angle, because there was others, but they were upright, and I just thought it was strange. Anyway, moving on to a moor hen. Well, actually two, because the other one's been sort of drowned or something. And it kind of looks like it's drowning itself at the same time, because it seems like it's not actually standing on your head, mate, so you could get up. But just the fact that it was like using it as a stepping stone, like as if like I don't want to get my feet wet or whatever, and yeah, I just thought it was quite funny. In the next picture, which you'll see in a second, the other moor hen finally got up, and that one started to fall by the looks of it, I guess. But yeah, I just thought it was odd when I first looked at it. I was kind of like, what? Why are you doing that? Looked a bit odd in the water. It's like drowning his mate. Didn't like him. Okay, moving on to this one. This one is odd because, one, its face just looks a bit like, you know, it's been smoking some weed or something. But also the bit that's it's its foot that has been brought up, but it looked like some sort of, it was given birth to some sort of octopus thing or something with nails or claws, I should say. But yeah, it was just an odd moment at a picture that I caught in a weird way, I suppose. And yeah, I just thought I'd share it with you. Again, still with the moor hens. This one had a ginormous stick, and I know you can see quite a lot of it. It still went on further, and it was really struggling to swim with it, because obviously it was stuck in the water at one side. So it was trying to swim, and it was like at one point it was kind of going a bit round in a circle, because like the heaviness of the stick in the water at the other side was like stopping it moving. This is a baby moor hen, and it pulled whatever that brown leaf looking thing is out of the water, and it clearly did not like the taste of it. Yeah, and sort of spat it back out, and then was like, it looked like it was literally doing fake being sick ness. Yeah, Kelly would know about that. So this I've forgotten what they're called, but anyway, I'm sure she was on the end of a ship or something. I might be wrong, but I just wanted to point her out and put her in this, is because she's properly cockeyed, and she's also armless, bless her. But I can't find the information as to where she came from. I know there used to be a butcher's here years and years ago where this is, and they put it there along with the little plaque things on the tops there. But I can't for the life of us remember anything about her, unfortunately. But yeah, she does look a bit, her eyes are a bit, yeah, she's got a bit of a lazy eye, shall we say. And she's lost one of her arms, which is a shame. Okay, moving on. Now, I've put this picture in. This was taken with my camera through my windows and the doors, and I don't know if you can see it properly, but on the railings either side of my ramp thing, it's not much of a ramp really, is a robin, and I've never ever seen like two robins together type of thing. They were on the same railing together, but by the time I got my camera out, they were basically on separate ones. I'm guessing it's a male and a female, and that was, you know, they were chasing each other. This one was playing, you know, I haven't got your nose, or in this case, I haven't got your beak, which I'm guessing is what the bird families do. You know, when you play, I've got your nose, they play, I've got your beak. Well, I don't actually know what happened in this picture to make it look like it didn't have one, because it did have one when I took the photograph, and when I seen this I just thought, oh my god, it looks like me without my teeth. But yeah, Anyway, moving on. This goldfinch was pulling out all of the flowers to try and get at the little insects that were in there, and one of the leaves off the flowers, is it leaves, petals, Lainie, petals, what's your problem, ended up stuck to its head, and I just thought it was funny, so I took a picture, as you do. But yeah, he was hurriedly pulling them all out, as if he was saying, love you. Oh, is it that thing with the daisy? She loves me not, she loves me, that kind of thing. But yeah, I just thought it looked cool. And this is, how many goldfinches can you spot on the roof? Again, I took this from my bedroom, and it was through the window and then across. I mean, the zoom on my camera is really good. You could probably like have a nab in people's windows, couldn't you? But yeah, there's, I don't know if anyone started to count, but there's actually 15 of them, and I've never seen that many together. I've seen sort of 3 or 4, but not 15 goldfinches, so I thought it was worth a photograph. This is a poster that is in Mowbray Park, and it's basically to the point, oi, don't be a tosser, bin it or get fined. The word tosser is basically like the word wanker, so if you're not like from the UK, you might not understand that, and I'm not even sure if you know the word wanker in different countries as well, but it's not a nice word, shall we say. Anyway, moving on. I absolutely love crows. I love the crow family, and he was trying to pick up the mealworms that spilled onto the ground, and he was doing quite well, as you can see by his mouth there. He was getting quite a few in, and so I just thought, oh well, I'll take a picture. But I just love them because I think that, like, the cheeky, the funny, and the clever, they're really clever, like from what I've seen. Again, another picture of a crow. This one's just, I managed to catch it. Like, I think a lot of birds and animals have like their eyelids, but they also have like some sort of in a lid thing, and so I caught it kind of halfway over, or maybe it was its eyelid that's halfway over, I'm not really sure, but then this lighter colour that comes across, and I just thought it was odd that it was kind of exactly in the middle kind of thing. It was just strange. And then again, Mr. Crow, and a different Mr. Crow, I assume, he is so excited because he has a biscuit, and I totally understand that feeling. I totally get where he's coming from, but I've never seen a crow so excited about their piece of biscuit in my life, and so I thought that I would show that to you. But he's so sweet, and he was like walking about with it and showing off a bit to the seagulls, to be fair. So Mr. B here, he kind of, I felt like he was sort of looking at us thinking, what are you looking at? Yeah, can I help you? I'm just here getting me honey, cracking on, you know, none of your business. Move along, please. Or whatever. I don't know, maybe that's just my judgment of what he's thinking, but yeah, it just felt like he was looking at me. It was a bit strange. But I was really pleased with the picture, so that was cool. This other bee here, I don't know if like he's into bee mime art, but it kind of looks like there's either a pane of glass there or something, and he's against it, or he's doing some sort of mime, as I said. But yeah, he just kind of come off the flower as I took the picture, and then I thought, oh, that's a bit strange. It looks like he's against a window or something. But yeah, I just really liked it, so I thought I'd share. Right, moving on to the ducks. Now this duck had this male mallard, had just like dipped its head under the water, and I literally caught it just as, and it just looked like he'd oiled his head, you know what I mean? Like, it was so shiny, and I just thought it looked like oil on it, and I know it's all that waters off a duck's back thing, and I suppose seconds later you wouldn't have seen any water, but it literally just looked like it had been oiled. And in this one, it kind of looked like he was frozen in 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 that sort of way. But again, I just caught him as he came out the water, and like, because the water was all around him and you could see his face properly, it just looked like he was kind of frozen in the water, when actually he was probably just constantly dipping his head and getting a wash and whatever. And then if you move on to this one, I don't know what it is, but again, with a mallard in the water, again, he was just washing himself. But it so reminds me of like a perfume advert or an aftershave advert. And you just can imagine, though, that music playing, like on the it's always like French music and whatever, isn't it? And then you can kind of like see him coming out the water, and it's like Pond Life by Duckadoff or something. Maybe not quite like that, I don't know, but it just looked like it was doing an advert for like Pond aftershave. I don't know if that's the thing, if it could be a thing, but if it is, I should market it. Just as I said earlier on, this is another male mallard, just a sort of crossbreed type one. But and when I said like water's off a duck's back, you can literally see how the water doesn't sort of stay on as the dip under and stuff. But someone else said to me, who I showed this to, that it looked like icing, like it had been glazed, like and I suppose it does. It looks like someone had dipped it in icing. Anyway, this is a young juvenile male mallard, and it looked like he was literally with his hands over his ears, if ducks even out. I mean, they've got hearing, so they must have ears, but can't really see them like ours. They don't protrude off the head, but looks like he was just going na na na, like, I'm not listening, kind of thing. And then moving on to this female, I've never seen a duck look happy, but I swear she looks happy. She looks like she was just chilling in the grass there, and she looked really happy, like she was smiling on the inside. I don't know what it is, but that's just how it felt like it looked to me, and I don't know if you agree, but if you do, obviously let us know. And then the next duck picture, it looked to me like they were doing a strictly come ducking, dancing, whatever. It kind of looked like they were doing some sort of two-step sideways thing. Maybe it's just me, I don't know, but it did just look like, I mean, I don't know if duck dancing is a thing, but I think they should enter, and I think they would win. I mean, they might be the only ones that did enter, because I didn't see anyone else doing it, but they were kind of doing like this sort of sideways movement, and it just looked a bit odd because I've never seen that. I think they were just walking, but it sounds good. And then this one, it just looked like he was taking off. It looked like he sort of shot out the water, and it always like landing on the other one that was just there, and I think he was just stretching or about to stretch, but just the angle that I caught it at made it look like he was kind of launching himself off the other one, like maybe that's not a thing, probably isn't, but yeah. Now this duck, he looked very surprised, like he was shocked, like very shocked at something. Like, I don't know if he'd been caught doing something, he was up to something, but yeah, and it just looks, he just genuinely looks like he was like, caught up to something, I guess. Maybe he was, I don't know, What would ducks be doing that they shouldn't? I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but yeah, I just think he was up to something he shouldn't have been, and he was caught. So he was like, you know. Anyway, I've showed this before not that long ago, with the baby ducklings, but the mama duck in the background, just looking to the side. It was kind of like, yeah, I'm watching you. You know what I mean? Like, she's not messing. I wouldn't mess with the laser ducks, or the tufted ducks actually, but Sharon calls them laser ducks. And I mean, I get the whole yellow eye thing, but it's cool. Speaking of tufted ducks and laser ducks, this is the male tufted duck, and he just looks really angry with me for some reason. I mean, I don't think he really was. I think he was just caught him at a weird stretch. Or maybe he is. Maybe he's just like, maybe what he's saying is, I'm sick of you coming down here taking our photos. You know, shut off. Go to the other park. We didn't want you here. Or something like that. I don't know. Maybe I just make up too much shit in my head. Now, I looked at this, didn't really think anything of it at first until I noticed that the seagull in the far distance has a lighter in his mouth. Now, whether he was saying to the other seagull, hey Steve, this cormorant's come down thinking it's going to attack our food, like, so I think we should light it. Or whatever he was thinking. Or maybe he was like, if you got a light, mate, you know, I'm passing it to his mate. I don't know. But yeah, it's not really good, but I was weirded out to see it. This guy was chucking bread at the seagulls, and this one thought he was doing some sort of Eric Cantona mid-air kick thing. He did catch the bread, but yeah, it was just catching it in the mid-air. It just looked a bit odd, especially with his leg so far back. You know, he was doing some sort of crazy stunt. Obviously, you know, we're in the seagulls, and it just looked like they were doing synchronized whinging or something. I didn't know. It was like they were having a chat, or, you know, doing their warm-up for their opera, and they were doing it synchronized, like, if that's a thing. I don't know, but yeah, they were just going along, and I just got the shot. The next one is when they're actually doing opera. So this is Steve Arotti, would that be a thing? I don't know. Stephen Pavarotti, I don't know. Why is Steven Seagal the only seagull name that you can give seagulls? I mean, it could be John or Bob or Dave or whatever, couldn't it really? Speaking of more seagulls, these are, did you ever see, or those of you that maybe my age or a bit older may have possibly have seen Hale and Pace? And you remember when there used to be the management, the two door bouncers? We are the management, and that's what this looks like to me. So it was like they were both like sort of there, and they were keeping their eye on the crow that was on the floor. And yeah, it just looked like, yeah, if your name's not whatever, you're not getting in. Okay, so moving on to this one. Again, there's actually a cormorant on the boat as well, but if you can look closely at the seagull's legs, his legs are crossed, and you know, I don't know if seagulls get desperate for a wee or whatever, but yeah, his legs were crossed like he needed the loo, and he was like, hurry up man, I'm gonna weigh myself. Don't know why that's a seagull's voice. This one looked like someone had flung it across the park, like water. You know how you skim a stone? It was like a skimming seagull or something. I don't know. I mean, to be honest, it was actually getting washed, but it just looked like it was like being skimmed along the water. But as I said, it was getting washed, and for some reason I caught it like this. So, but I just thought it looked like a skimming stone. And this one is clearly, you know, Mr. Motivator, Mr. Don't know what it would be for a bird, but yeah, like it looks like it's doing side kicks, you know what I mean? And 1, and 2, and 3, you know what I mean? Like kind of thing. I know I have the weirdest imagination ever, but that's just how it is. And so yeah, I think that's what he's doing. I think he's exercising, yeah. Okay, so we're still on the seagulls. This one I call it with its wings out fully stretched, and I don't know, he was doing like impression of the angel of the north or what, or maybe he was just stretching his wings like a seagull, Lainie. That might be the normal answer for this. But yeah, after he did this, he then sort of flew up and then dived into the water. So this is mid dive. I don't know what he was going for, but it looks like the duck was looking at it as well in the background, what he'd spotted. But I loved how his tail kind of fanned out as well. And then the next picture, which I'm guessing a lot of you may have seen, some of you may not, but a lot of you may have, was the image after this, because I did this as a burst shot, and what I managed to catch was it looked like he was balancing on the water, so by his beak. So this is like the image after, or the image after that. I can't remember, it might have been a few images after, because when the burst shots, I take quite a few. And yeah, he was balancing on his beak, like, just, which is pretty cool to see. And I'll never ever get that shot again, ever. But you know, in this one there was like a load of seagulls, and they're all on the wall, and this one seagull that's at the bottom there, and he just looked so sad. It looked like he'd been not allowed on, and like he was really sad about it, and nobody would move along for him. And like, honestly, I've never seen a seagull look so sad ever. Or they just weren't his friend or something. I don't know what it was, but like, he just looks really sad, where all the others are like, well, not that I would say seagulls are happy as such, because I don't think they are, if you know what I mean. They're happy for seagulls, but like, they don't look happy, if that's what. Yeah, shut up, Lainie. Anyway, this last one, when I took this picture, I did not see the stick where it was placed, if you know what I mean. I just seen that he was playing with a stick, and seagulls do this quite often. I've noticed they play with quite a lot of things, like chuck them about and pick them up and put them down and whatever. Yeah, so he was picking up the stick, and I took a few pictures, and then when I got home and looked at it closely, I was like, oh, that's not a clever angle. It looks like he's literally trying to, you know, shove a stick up his friend's bum there, shall we say. And then I shared this on a photography page that I go on, and someone asked me if they could edit it, and I said yes, and they edited it to look like this. So yeah, now like making it slightly worse, does it? But I couldn't have done that, but I just thought it was funny, and I thought that it was worth sharing. And I think, although I like loads of them in here, I think this is probably one of my favourites, just because it was just something that's like a one-off. I suppose the same as the balancing on its beak type of thing, but I guess that's a bit more cool, really. Well, I'm saying it's cool. Okay, so this next picture is it was weird. Like there was loads and loads of seagulls and pigeons and that, and they were all like getting fed and stuff. And all of a sudden, like the sky went like this weird dark. And this picture doesn't really justify how dark, weirdly dark it went. And it was very sudden, and they all just took off. And then literally 2 seconds, well not 2 seconds, about a minute later, it started absolutely stopping down a rain. So they must know, they must have a sense of it. I mean, yeah, I suppose you could just say it was just because went dark, but yeah. Anyway, this guy was feeding the pigeons and were quite often coming on his arm, and I caught this one. I'm assuming he picked up the food and then dropped it as he went to eat it, and so I caught it sort of mid-fall, which, you know, is just cool. Me and the word cool tonight's not good. Oh, this poor little pigeon. I'm saying it to her because there was another pigeon who was sort of edging round her that was like, you know, seeming like it was a male. So I'm saying it's a girl, but she has no feathers on the top of her head. So she's kind of a little bit of like a monk pigeon. And I don't know if it's some sort of like, you know, mite maybe disease, or if she'd literally had a close shave with something and it skimmed the top of her fur off, but feathers off. But she was happy enough. She was eating. She was, you know, being a pigeon, and I've seen her a few times, so it's all fine. This one was a bit weird for me because I've never really seen a mostly white pigeon, and I'm guessing it's kind of, is it like albino? Or then I was kind of thinking, because I know pigeons are closely related to doves, and I thought, well, maybe it's like a dove thing, and it's actually some sort of, you know, dove, or maybe some sort of pigeon that I don't know about, like a certain breed. But like I said, I've never seen one that's so white like that before. Right, moving on to the cormorant. So this fellow was just sitting on this boulder thing in the river, and I caught a few bursts of shots of him, but when I looked at them back, he just looked like he was laughing his head off at something. So something was hilariously funny. I mean, obviously he was calling out noises, but it you know, without the noise behind it, it just looks like someone told him a joke, and it was hilariously funny. Hopefully he wasn't reading penguin jokes, because they're just not funny anymore. It's like a disgrace, you know, in the backs of them biscuits and that now. But yeah, and everyone, he just looks more like he's like laughing his head off. That's hilariously funny. And so yeah, maybe someone in the chat can tell us what joke he's saying. I don't know. Okay, so the last one, it's another one of those faces in things. Right at the bottom where I've drew around the circle, I'm telling you, it's a pig with boobs. So it's got a pig, it's got a snout, it's got eyes, and it's got a rack. It's got cleavage and boobs, and I mean, I'm not saying it's Miss Piggy or whatever, but that's just what it looks like to me. Does anyone else see a pig with boobs, or am I like truly losing the plot? Okay, I really hope that you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching as always. Please put in the comments if you have a favourite funny or odd one. I think the moment that, well, I've probably got a few, but I think the moment when I caught the seagull picking up the stick, and to be honest, when I actually took the photo, I did not notice. It wasn't until I got home that I realised that how kind of, oops, that looks a bit odd. But yeah, I think it's one of my favourites. But I hope it's given you a smile, if nothing else. Thank you very much, as I said, for watching, and please like and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and hopefully next week I might have something new to show you, and if not, you'll have views and whatever, but we shall see. Bye for now.